simple quarter dollar can be worth $6 million if it has these rare minting errors. Today, I'll explain the coin's history and the specific minting errors that can turn an ordinary quarter into a valuable treasure. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. 1972 was not just another year at the United States Mint. America was in the middle of economic shifts, political tension, and industrial expansion. Coin production was massive. The country needed change, literally, for vending machines, toll booths, and everyday commerce. The United States Mint was striking hundreds of millions of Washington quarters that year. By design, they were ordinary workhorses of the economy, but mass production is where perfection slips. The design itself traces back decades earlier to 1932, when the Washington quarter was introduced to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse portrait was created by John Flanagan, whose clean, strong profile became one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. By 1972, the design hadn't changed much, but the technology and materials had. Since 1965, quarters were no longer made of 90% silver. Instead, they used a copper core sandwiched between nickel layers, what collectors call a clad composition. This layered structure would later become extremely important in identifying rare errors, because when something goes wrong in a layered metal coin, it leaves evidence. For years, most 1972 quarters traded at face value, 25 cents, nothing more. Then collectors began noticing something unusual. A handful of 1972 quarters surfaced that were not struck on standard copper-nickel-clad planchets. Instead, a tiny number were mistakenly struck on leftover silver planchets, metal blanks that were never meant to be used after 1964. The scenario: bins of metal blanks, high-speed presses, thousands of coins per hour. One stray silver planchet slips into the system. The press comes down with tons of pressure, and suddenly, a mistake becomes history. When one of these rare silver-struck 1972 quarters was authenticated and graded in near-perfect condition, its rarity shocked the numismatic world. Fewer than a handful were confirmed. Private sales escalated. Competitive bidding followed. One elite specimen, preserved in extraordinary condition, was reportedly valued in the multi-million-dollar range, with estimates reaching close to $6 million due to its uniqueness, metal composition, and pristine state. Not every 1972 quarter is worth millions, but a microscopic difference can separate pocket change from generational wealth. Let's break it down technically, but simply. 1. Check the weight. A normal 1972 clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A silver quarter weighs about 6.25 grams. That small difference of 0.58 grams might not sound like much, but on a precision scale, it's everything. If your 1972 quarter weighs closer to 6.25 grams, you may be holding something extraordinary. Clad quarters show a visible copper stripe along the edge. Silver quarters do not. The edge appears solid silver in color. This is one of the easiest visual tests. Some rare 1972 quarters also show dramatic minting errors that increase value. Double die obverse. This happens when the coin die itself receives a misaligned impression during its creation. The result? Slight but visible doubling in letters like Liberty or In God We Trust. Off-center strike. The blank wasn't properly seated when struck, causing part of the design to miss the planchet. Wrong planchet error, the most valuable category. This is when the design of a quarter is stamped onto metal meant for a completely different coin, such as a silver blank. In simple terms, coins are made by pressing engraved steel dies onto flat metal blanks under immense pressure. If the blank is wrong, misaligned, or the die itself is flawed, the mistake becomes permanently stamped into metal. Most errors are minor. A few are legendary. Even if a 1972 quarter has a rare composition or error, condition matters enormously. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded near 70, meaning almost flawless under magnification, can be worth exponentially more than the same coin with scratches or wear. That's how prices jump from thousands to millions. Rarity plus error plus pristine preservation is explosive value. Here's what makes the 1972 quarter story so fascinating. It wasn't supposed to be special. It was produced during routine, high-volume minting. Yet hidden within that sea of ordinary coins were a few extraordinary survivors, accidental masterpieces born from industrial imperfection. And the most incredible part? Some of these coins were discovered years later, in circulation, in pocket change, in inherited jars of coins. So the next time a 1972 quarter crosses your path, don't dismiss it instantly. Check the weight. Inspect the edge. Look closely at the details, because once in a rare moment, in the chaos of mass production, history leaves behind a silent anomaly, and sometimes that anomaly is worth millions.